Hey everybody, it's Andrew from Above All TV, episode 13, and today is March something in 2016. And today what I want to talk to you about is the different meters needed on an inspection of a water damage claim. A lot of people go into a water damage claim with the old school meters that just beep and tell you if the material is wet or dry, but that in today's day and age, that is not enough. So what we like to do is we like to deal with an infrared camera. What we do is when we first walked in and the water is extracted and removed from the property, we go in with an infrared camera to determine what's wet and what's not wet. And what it determines is it shows temperature difference. And what will come up on the infrared camera is if something blue is noticed while we're scanning the building material, it will indicate that there's an issue there. And when we're done with the infrared camera and we see blue, the biggest thing that we need to do is determine if it's wet and how wet it is. And then we go with the penetrating meter. The penetrating meter will determine how wet it actually is, if it is even wet. So what we'll do is we'll go and we'll penetrate the meter or the building material and determine if it needs to be addressed or is it perfect living conditions. So what we'll do is we'll penetrate the drywall and a number will come up on the meter and it will determine how wet the building material is. And with certain building materials, it needs to be a certain moisture content. So drywall needs to be relatively in between 7 and 11 moisture content. Wood could be more moist than drywall, with the moisture content being as high as 14, but it can't be any more moist than that because then we'll have moisture transfer, mold growth. With that, once we determine how wet the building materials are, we need to start our drying process, and then we install the air removers to blow air to start increasing the rate of evaporation on those building materials. And when the moisture is coming out of the building materials, we need to determine how moist the actual air is. Then we go with what is called a hygrometer. What this does is it determines how high the relative humidity is, how high the temperature is, how high the GPP is. GPP is the grains per pound in a square meter, and that's the physical moisture within a square meter. And the dew point. The dew point is the highest point of relative humidity that will cause condensation. This is usually when relative humidity is at 100%, and that's when you start noticing water coming down the windows, so when condensation starts to occur. Then what we also need to do during a water claim is determine what our dehumidifiers are producing. So we'll put the hygrometer at the exhaust of a dehumidifier and see what the ambient air is coming out. And what this will do is we'll determine if the actual dehumidifier is working efficiently or needs to be addressed. This is called grain depression. With that, this is just a little bit of information on how we handle our meters during a water claim. If you guys have any questions, hit me up on social media, and please don't forget to subscribe below. Thank you.